This is Chapter 1, Lesson 6, Equivalent Ratios. The main chapter essential question that we've been talking about is how do you use equivalent rates in the real world? We talked about that when we were making recipes for the most part. There are some other ideas out there, and I'm sure you can come up with some of your own, and you should come up with some of your own. That's the whole point of these essential questions. Okay, the lesson essential question is how can you tell two ratios are equivalent? All right, you should be able to answer that one too pretty much easily. If you simplify both of them, all right, and get them down to their simplest form, and if they are equal, then they are equivalent, all right? Otherwise, they are not. All right. Okay, use unit rates. There are different ways to determine if two ratios or rates are equivalent. One way is by examining the unit rates. By comparing quantities as rates in simplest form, which we talked about, you can determine if the relationship between the two quantities are the same. As they've done here, 10 prints for $2 is equal to 5 prints for $1, and 30 prints for $6 is the same thing as 5 prints for $1. They simplified it down to a unit rate. Since the rate have the same unit rate, they're equivalent ratios. Okay? Now we will determine if each pair of rates is equivalent. Explain your reasoning. Okay? 20 miles in 5 hours, 45 miles in 9 hours. Okay? Write each rate as a fraction, then find its unit rate. There you go. They got it down. They got it down to the unit rates here. You can see that they are not equivalent because they simplified it down to its simplest form. 4 miles in 1 hour is not equivalent to 5 miles in 1 hour. Okay? Since the ratios do not have the same unit rate, they are not equivalent. Okay? Now we have 3 t-shirts for $21 and 5 t-shirts for $35. Right? You get them down to their unit rates, and it is $7 for 1 t-shirt, and same thing with $7 for 1 t-shirt. They are equivalent since they have the same unit rate. Not hard. Okay? All right, am I able to move this? I don't think I can, but that's okay. We can do these. All right, so I got A, right? You should try these. You should pause this video, and you should try to do these on your own, and then come back and see if you got it right. I'll give you a second to pause the video. All right, so you got 36 t-shirts. Right, in 3 boxes. We got 60 t-shirts in 6 boxes. All right, we're going to divide each of these by 3. Okay, which is going to be equivalent to 12 t-shirts in 1 box. For this one down here, we're going to divide by 6. Okay, we're going to come up with 10 t-shirts. Well, I just don't want to make my H's, do I? In 1 box. That is obviously not equivalent, okay? Because they do not have the same unit rate. All right? If we don't do that, it'll do this. All right? Let's go ahead and do B, which is, let me extend the page a little bit. I know that it misses it. I should have made that so that it's movable, and I didn't. All right, so B. I got 42 flowers in 7 vases or vases. All right, and then I also got 54 flowers in 9 vases or vases, however you want to say it. All right, we're going to divide both of these by the denominator, okay, to get into its unit rate. And 42 divided by 7 is 6 flowers in 1 vase. Okay, this one down here, we're going to both divide these by 9. All right. And we got 54 divided by 9 is 6 flowers in 1 vase. Okay, these are equivalent. I will write here not equivalent. I think I spelled equivalent wrong. I think there's an A there. Yep, there is. This should be an A. Okay, and these are equivalent. Okay, not too hard. You should be able to do that. You should be able to get these down to unit rates with no problem. To get them down to any type of unit rate, just divide each number by the denominator. All right. All right, we got another example. Felicia reads the first 60 pages of a book in 3 days. She read the last 90 pages in 6 days. Are these reading rates equivalent? Explain your reasoning, okay? They take 60 pages and put over 3 days. They divide everything by 3 and get down to 20 pages in 1 day. They did the same with 90 pages in 6 days and got it down to 15 pages in 1 day. As you can tell, since the unit rates are not equivalent, these are not equivalent rates. Okay, since the rates do not have the same unit rate, they are not equivalent. So Felicia's reading rates are not equivalent. All right, let's do these two. Okay, again, I should have probably made a mistake, and I should have put these maybe even. See, yeah. Let me unlock it. Extend the page. All right, I think I can do this maybe on one page. All right, so I got C. All right. Marcia made 10 bracelets for 5 friends. 10 bracelets, 5 friends. Right? And you got Jen made 12 bracelets for 4 friends. Are these rates equivalent? Okay? We'll divide by the denominator. Divide both of these by the denominator. All right, get it down to its unit rate. We got 2 bracelets for 1 friend. Right? And then down here, you're going to divide by 4. You're going to come up with 3 bracelets for 1 friend. And these are not equivalent, right? Because they are not equal in unit rates. All right, the unit rate is not equal. All right. Let's extend the page and do the next one. All right. D. I don't know why I didn't split these apart. I should have. All right. D. I got a Club A raised $168, washing 42 cars, while Club B did $152 in 38 cars. Are these equivalent? I'm going to divide both of these by 42. Okay, now I can look at this and I can go, all right, this is 1 car, and when I divide 42 into 168, that goes, well, 4 times. So each car costs $4. All right, I did the same thing over here. Whoops. Put this over here, okay. I'm going to divide each of these by 38. This is 1 car, we know that. We set it up so we get it down to 1 car. And now we look at 38 and we go, well, that could be 4, right? Let me see, 4 times 8 is 32, carry the 3. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 3 is 15. So this is $4 a car also, okay? So these are equivalent. Equivalent because the unit rates are equal, okay? I'm not going to write all that, but I just wanted to show you that that's what you would say. All right, because the unit rates are equal, they are equivalent. Same with the other one above it. It's not equivalent because the unit rates are not equal. It's very important that you at least understand what it's doing. All right? Using equivalent fraction. If a unit rate is not easily found, use equivalent fractions to decide whether the ratios or rates are equivalent. Okay, this is another way if you can tell if rates or ratios are equivalent. Okay, you can find fractions, right? Determine if the pair of ratios or rates are equivalent. Explain your reasoning. All right. 3 free throws made out of 7 attempts, or 9 free throws made out of 14 attempts. All right. What I would do is, right. Okay. So now, look, I would have done it slightly different. I would have tried to get something equal, right? I'd have had 3 free throws Here, let's abbreviate free throws, right? Free throws in what? 7 attempts? All right, and you got 9 free throws in 14 attempts. Okay, I would have just brought the 3 free throws in 7 attempts up to 14 attempts. So I'd have multiplied both numbers by 2, and then that would have been up to 6 free throws in 14 attempts, and they are obviously not equal. Okay, this does not equal that, not equivalent. Okay, because here he made 9 free throws in 14 attempts, where the other guy, if he kept shooting, he would make 6 free throws in 14 attempts. Since these fractions are not equivalent, the ratios are not equivalent. Okay, see, they have another one. All right, again, Selena is comparing the cost of 2 packages of DVDs. A package of 6 DVDs costs $90, and a pack of 3 DVDs costs $45. Are the rates equivalent? Explain your reason. Okay, see, they divide. You can divide. Okay, you can still get it down to something. What they did is they took 90 and got it down to 45, and then they took 6 and got it down to 3 by dividing everything by 2, and they realized, oh, they are equivalent. Okay, since the fractions are equivalent, the ratios are equivalent. That's okay to do it like that. I would have maybe also decided to bring. I would have recognized that 90 is double 45, so I would have probably doubled 45 to get it up to 90, and then we'd have doubled 3 to get it up to 6, and that would have been equivalent. Either way, all right? So let's try these. We have one more to do, right? And then you can start the guided practice. Here, I'll move this out of the way. Unlock, move it down. Okay? So we got E, right? Ms. Jeffries has 12 girls out of 16 students on the student council. The Earth Day Committee has 4 girls out of 8 students. Are the ratios equivalent? So we got 16 students. Whoop. Sorry. We got 12 girls out of 16 students. And we got 4 girls out of 8 students. You can easily tell that if you multiply 8 by 2, you can get it up to 16. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to multiply this by 2, both of these by 2. And this will be 8 girls out of 16 students. And these are not equal, not equivalent. Okay? That's how you can tell, right? You got to get something up to it. Or you could have divided 12 and 16 by 2, and you would have got it down to what, 6 and 8. So then you could have been able to do it. I prefer to do multiplication over division, but that's just me. Okay? Go ahead and start the guided practice. When you're done with it, bring it up to me, show it to me that you can do it, and then you can start on your homework on the extra practice page 65 and 66.